So reports and dashboard, this is a simple topic. Basically, here we will learn how to create reports in Salesforce. So we know that there is a lot of data which is stored within Salesforce, right? So because we have data, we can do the reporting as well in Salesforce. Okay, we can have our reports created using Salesforce. So Salesforce by default has some functionalities available for us to create reports. It has a report builder, and it also has a report scheduler, which can generate the report on the defined frequency and send it to the designated people, and they can receive it on the defined frequency. Like a weekly report or a monthly report can be scheduled, right? So I think we all understand what a report is. So we will straight away get into how to create a report. Okay, so there are a few things that we need to keep in mind while we are creating a report. One, what all fields we need in a report. So if you are asked to create a report for account, you will also want to know what all fields from account are required on the report. If I say, okay, hey, go ahead and create a report on account. So you might ask me that what all fields you need from account, because account may have 50, 60, 70 fields, right? Out of 70, do I need all those 70 fields in the report, or I just need, let's say, 5 or 6 of them, right? So the fields, filters defines the criteria which records should be included in the report. So again, if I ask you to create a report on accounts, you might also want to understand which accounts. Am I talking about all the accounts, or am I talking about accounts from a particular country, or accounts from a particular industry, or accounts from a particular customer type, or the ones which were created in last 3 months. So some criteria, right? So that is called filter. Third is the format of the report. Okay, so the reports created in Salesforce do have different formats. So we consider the format also while creating the report. So there are 4 report formats which are allowed in Salesforce. First is called a tabular report. I will talk about all these formats. Tabular format. Then we have summary format. Then we have matrix format report, and we have tabular, summary, matrix, and we have one more which is called a joined report. Okay. So these are the different reports, report formats that we have: tabular, summary, matrix, and joined. So I'll talk about all these formats, right? Fourth is folder. Folder is the place where you save the report. Okay, got it? So these are a few things which we need to understand for creating a report. So I mean, if you are asked to create a report, you just have to have answer to these questions: which all fields are required on the report, which filters are required on the report, which format that report should be in, and where that report needs to be saved. Okay, so if you have answer to these questions, I think your creating a report becomes very easy. Okay, so just keep 4 things in mind: fields, filter, format, and folder. Okay, there's one more thing that you have to consider, which is called a report type. Report type. So this is one more thing that we need to understand before creating a report. So report type basically defines which object we are using for the report. So if you're creating a report for account, or are you creating a report for opportunities or contacts. So that thing is defined using report type. All right. So you need to know what report type needs to be used, which all fields are required, which filters are required, which format of the report, and where do you want to save the report, which folder. Okay. So let's get started on creating a report. Let me start with creating a simple report on accounts. Just give me a minute. Let me log in into this. Okay. So to create a report, you will need to go to the reports tab that's there. It's under the sales app. Yeah, reports tab. Just go ahead and click on reports tab. Click on new report. Select the report type. So as I told you, report type basically defines which object you want to use in the report. I want to create a report for accounts, so I will select accounts and contacts. Under that there is this report type called accounts. So pick the report type and click on create. That's it. Alright. Let me show it to you once again. Click on the reports tab, then click on the new report. Go to accounts and contacts, select accounts. If you want to create a report for opportunities, you should click on opportunities and select opportunities report type, right? So which report you want to create, that you should select as the report type. Selected, click on create. Okay, so this brings you to the report builder screen. Now this is a very simple interface which can be used for creating a report. All right. Now here you have okay. So here you have the fields available here. I told you have to select which all fields are required on the report. You have to define what all filters need to be put on the report, right? So select the fields from here. Put the filters from here and choose the format here. Tabular, summary, matrix, joints. That's it. All right. So, and this is the preview pane. So what you get here is you just get all the the preview of the report. You get to see all the fields and the data here. The preview of the report is displayed here. All right. So right now, if you see, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 fields here already. Right. If you don't want these fields, remove them. Bring in the fields that you want. I need account name. I need that type. It's just drag and drop. I need to display industry. I need to display employees. I also need to display that's it. Annual revenue. Okay. Fine. So the fields that I needed, I have just dragged the fields and brought them into the preview section. Got it? So the fields are ready. Now define the filters. What filter you want to define here? Do you want to show all the accounts, right? Or you just want to show some accounts with some criteria, right? So in the filter, you would see that there is a date field filter which is by default there. Okay. You can put additional filters also, but date field filter is already there. So there is already a criteria. Created date is from 29th March to till date. Alright. So what you can do is you can just make it all time. The moment you make it all time, you see there are some records which are being displayed here. So there are 1, 2, 3, 4 accounts here. All right, you can make it all accounts. So there are so many accounts here. Now I can see the report, right? So earlier the filter was there for the date field. That is the reason why it was not displaying the data. If you want to put some more filter, you can add filters from here. Add field filter. All right. So let's say the filter that I want to put is I just want to see a report of prospects where the type equals prospect. Okay, then what I can do is I can just go ahead and add field filter. So we'll have to say where type equals prospect. Got this? So this is how it is. So the filters can be added from here. Whatever requirement you have based on, you will select the fields. Based on your requirement, you will bring the filters here. Okay. You can put filter logics. What is a filter logic? Filter logic is if you are putting two filters or more than two filters, then you will have and or logic, right? So if you are putting filter 1 and filter 2, then you can have an and or an or logic there, right? Like if I say show me the records where the type equals prospect or industry equals manufacturing. So I can put one more filter here. So it's very simple actually. There's nothing which you need to basically understand or something which is very new. I mean, I think you must have done these kind of things in some Excel or something like that, right? So it's just a matter of user interface, how you're using drag and drop and all that stuff, right? Now see, type equals prospect and industry equals manufacturing. Okay, so the logic between those two filters is and logic. So it only shows the records where both the criteria are met. But if you don't want that thing to happen, if you just want the records to be displayed even if one of the criteria is met, then you should change the logic. So for changing the logic, you can use the filter logic. So add filter logic, make it 1 or 2. That's it. Got it? So now this filter criteria is 1, this is 2, and the logic that we are putting is 1 or 2. That is how it is. Correct? So you can report type, we have understood how to select the report type, select the object which you want to create the report for. Okay, report type we understand which object we want to select. Fields, which all fields you need in the report. Filters, under filters we have seen we can put filters. So under filter we have field filter, we have filter logic. I told you filter logic comes into picture if you have more than one logic, more than one filter, then you will have and or logic. Whether you want to put an and logic or logic, right? Completely depends on your requirement. There's another thing which is called a cross filter. What is a cross filter? Please give me 1 minute. Just give me a minute. Alright, here we are. So the next concept under filter is cross filter. What is a cross filter? Cross filter is basically a filter on some other object, right? So if you want filter logic to be put on some other object, not on account object, like for example, if you want the accounts to be displayed which have opportunity, Okay, so if I ask you that, hey, go ahead and create a report of all the accounts where there is an opportunity or where there is a case. Now that is a cross filter, because the filter needs to be put on the opportunity object. Report is of account object and the filter is of some other related object. So that is the cross filter thing. Okay, so the cross filter can also be put here. You can say just show me accounts with opportunities. Okay, you can put further, you can put further filters on the opportunity, like, do you just want this criteria that accounts with opportunity, any kind of opportunity or any specific type of opportunity? I say, okay, I need only the accounts which have opportunities with an amount which is greater than 20,000. Now these are the only two records left with that particular condition. Correct? So that's the cross filter. Okay, I can remove all this. I remove. So I've removed all the filters. Cross filter. And now the next concept that we have here is the row limit. Row limit is pretty simple. So if your report is displaying multiple records, but your report wants only top 10 records. If I tell you, okay, show me top 10 accounts based on number of employees, or top 3 accounts based on number of employees, then what you can do is you can limit the rows. Just make it 3 based on number of employees in descending order. Okay. So there's one small thing. You don't always get to see this report on this preview section with the correct values. Okay, so you always don't have the correct values being displayed here. Okay, so this is just a preview section and it's not necessary that it will show you the correct report. All right, so as like you can see, it's not showing the correct report right now. If you want to see the correct report, exact report, you have to click on run report. Right, now you see these are the top 3 accounts with maximum employees. Go back to customize, it will take you to the same screen. All right, so row limit is also done. We have understood the filters part. Now let's understand the different formats, report formats. Tabular, summary, matrix, joint. So this is the tabular format report, the default one, which is a table-like report format. So that is the reason why it's called tabular format. It's a simple one. Okay. The next format is the summary. Tabular is simple table-like format. Summary report, as the name suggests, this report is used for summarizing the values. So this summarizes values based on a field. Okay. For example, if you want to create a report, okay, just give me 1 minute. Let me open another account. I don't see too much data here on this account, so I'll log in through a different account. Give me 1 minute. Okay, just logged in into this another account. So let me just quickly go into the same report. So go to the reports tab, click on new report, create a report for account, click on create, and then go ahead and put the fields that I need. So good revision for all of you. Drag the fields that you need. Type, industry, number of employees. Is there? Yeah. Okay. Time. Okay, so this account has a little more data. Okay. So summary report, tabular report is simple one which we have seen. Summary report is basically summarizing the summarizing value of a field based on some other field. Okay, like for example, if you want a summary of annual revenue by type. Okay, if you want to summarize the annual revenue by type, under which account type, how much annual revenue we have or how many employees we have, that is basically summary. Okay, so here what will happen, you will have to define a field which needs to be used for summarizing and the field which needs to be summarized. All right, so first of all you just change the format to the summary format. Okay, now here the moment you change the format into a summary format, you will see this drop area. Okay, this is where you will have to define the controlling field which will be used for grouping. So type is the controlling field. Okay, now you summarize the field, the one that you want to summarize. So I want to summarize annual revenue. So you can go to annual revenue field and say summarize this field. Do the sum of this. You can do average also. Number of employees also I can summarize. So now what has happened? These two fields, annual revenue and employees, have been summarized by type. So under customer direct, this is the total annual revenue, and under these are the total number of employees. Under customer channel, these are the this is the total annual revenue and these are the number of employees. Got it? So grouping can be done, right? So tabular report has all the detailed records, right? But if you don't want to display all the records, most of the times we deal with summary reports. Let's say you are preparing a report for a company, sales report for a company, okay, and you have to display how much sale that company has done in different countries. Now you don't need to show individual sales. You don't need to show all the sales. You just have to give a summary of how much sales was done in India, how much of the sales revenue was generated in Canada, how much of it was generated in Australia, that way, right? So that is the summary part of it, right? Now in this report, as of now, you see the summary is there. Along with that, the detailed data is also there. Okay, individual records are also appearing. If you don't want to show the individual data, you can just click on show and remove the details. Drop zone is here. If you don't want to show the drop zone, just remove the drop zone also. Now it's just a summary. Okay, customer direct, 8 records, total revenue this, total number of employees this. Customer channel, 4 records, total revenue is this, total number of employees is this. Here, simple, creating the report. Alright. Now if you are okay on the report part, then we will go ahead and if you are okay on the summary format, then we will move into the next format. Okay, matrix format is something which is like a summary report or a summary format, but summary format summarizes the value on one single axis. Now it's on a single axis, right? Matrix format can summarize the values on both the axes, x-axis as well as y-axis. All right. So first of all, let me just bring in the details and drop zone and take it to the tabular format. Okay. Now change it to the matrix format. The moment you make it a matrix format, as I told you, that matrix format can summarize the data in both the axes. You will see now there appears two drop zones. One is horizontal, one is vertical, right? So let's say I want to summarize by type and by industry as well. Okay, so you can put one criteria vertically and the other criteria horizontally, right? So now your matrix format report is ready. Just remove the record count and the details. See, your report is ready. Earlier I just had a report which showed me under which account type, what revenue and how many employees. Now I have a matrix form of it. Which industry, which type, what is the total revenue, what is the total number of employees. Got it? So that intersection we can get. Which construction industry, how much of it is there, right? So it's like if you're if you're creating a sales report for a company, I just gave you an example for summary report, that which country how much revenue was generated by that company. That is one report. If the company says, okay, which company, which product, how much revenue they generated, they also want to understand that in which country, which product they sold more, right? So that is something which can be done using matrix format. So matrix format is something which will summarize the data on both the axes. All right. So that is about our matrix format report. All right. Now there is another report format which is joint format, but I will talk about joint format a little later. Okay, I'll come to that a little later. Before we talk about joint format, we will go into saving the report, the folder part. Okay. Now once you've created the report, what will you do with the report? So there are two reasons why you create a report. One, you might use the report instantly. Okay. So instantly using the report will mean you can take a printout, you can export it into an Excel spreadsheet and then don't save it anymore. You don't need to save it, right? But in most of the cases you will create a report which you need frequently. Okay. So in that case you might need to save the report. So if you have created this kind of a report and you know that every month you need this kind of a report, or you might need this kind of report, what will you do? It's better to save it, right? So what can we do with the report? You can just click on the run report thing. Once you click on run report, it runs the report and it gives you all the options. If you don't want to save it, you can export the details of this report to an Excel or CSV. Okay. You can export the details into XLS or CSV format. XLS is normal Excel file format and CSV is something that we have used in data loader. So you can export the report into that. Printable view will allow you to print the report. So you have an option of printing the report. You can save the report. Now this is the option of saving it. Okay. So save as will take you to saving the report. Okay. So the moment you say save as, then you have to define which folder you want to save it in. So there are two folders as of now. One is a public folder, one is the personal folder. So you can save it in your personal folder. If you save it in your personal folder, only you will be able to access this report. If you save it in public report folder, everyone will be able to access the report. All right. We have option of creating more folders as well. As of now, I would save it in public folder, public reports. Give it a name, report 1, whatever name you want to give, and just save it. Right, so my report has got saved now. So save as option is there, save option is there. Save will just go ahead and save this report. Customize will take you back to that report builder screen where you can again go customize the report. Show details will show the detailed records, which I don't want. There's one more thing that we can do, which is scheduling a report. Scheduling report means if you have saved a report, you can define a frequency, as I told you. If there is a report which your manager wants every Monday morning, then if you know that process can be automated, don't you think that will save a lot of time and effort for you, and it will again make the process a lot more smoother. So Salesforce has that report scheduler option available. It's here. You say run report, schedule future runs. Okay, so just go to run reports and say schedule future runs. Here you can define the schedule for the report. Define who do you want to send the report to. By default it's to me. You can select any user or anyone, right? If you want to send it to anyone, manager or whoever, you can define those people. So this report will be run automatically on this defined frequency, daily, weekly, monthly, whatever you want. You want it on Monday? Okay, every Monday this report will be executed and it will be sent to the defined users. Alright, you can define a start date and end date for it. If you want this process to continue till December 2015, you can do that. Okay, preferred start time, so what time you want this report to be sent. Oh, I say 9 p.m. or I say 12 a.m. or 3 a.m. whatever time, right? So because this is a developer edition, you just have these three options available, but on a regular edition you will have all the 24 hours option available. Right, so you can schedule it for any time, whatever time you want to send it, and just say save report schedule. That's it. Clear? So that's about reports. So we have understood the report type, we understand the fields, what all fields we need in the report, we understand the filters, different things under filter, though they are very simple: field filter, logics, cross filters, row limits. We have talked about formats, we will talk about joint format now. We have also seen how do we save the report in the folder, so we understand the significance of folder also. Alright. And in case you don't want to save the report, it's not necessary for you to go ahead and save the report every time. In case you don't want to save a report, you know that this is a one-time thing that you're doing. You can simply, just take an export of it, export the data into an Excel spreadsheet and just leave it, or you can print it. So you always don't have to, save the report. And you also have an option of scheduling the report. Alright, we're clear on this? Okay. Now we talk about joint report. So now the next thing that we are going to talk about is the joint report. What is a joint report? A joint report is something which can have multiple report types included in it. Okay. Now what is this multiple report type concept? The report that we just created was an account report. Okay, just think about it. If on the same report, if I am asked to create a report and I am told that okay, on the same report we want accounts, opportunities, cases, multiple report types, alright, then we can use a joint report. Okay, because these are all different report types. Account and contact is a different report type, cases is a different report type, right? So joint report allows you to club multiple report types and create a single report out of them. So how does that work? Let's just have a quick look onto that. So I'll create a new report. This time I'll create a report of accounts and contacts. So contacts and accounts. Click on create. Okay. First name, last name. Account name, email. Okay. So this is one report type, and I have got these fields from this report type. Okay. Account, first name, last name, and all these things. Okay. Now, let's say my manager asks me that how many contacts do we have from each of these account. Like for Edge Communication, I have 2. For Grand Hotel, I have 2. For United Oil and Gas Singapore, I have 2. So which account, how many contacts I have? So the simple answer should be summary report. Make it a summary format. So just summary. Okay, summarize based on the account name. Remove the details. Okay. So now you know which account, how many records we have, right? So that's there. Now parallelly, I am also supposed to give a count of how many cases do we have against each account. Now cases is something which is not available here because the report type is contacts and accounts. So cases is not included in this, right? Now to bring in the cases here, I need one more report type because cases is a different report type, right? So to bring in that thing, what I have to do is, or if I am required to give account of opportunities also. So opportunities is again a different report type. So for that, what we have to do, we have to convert it into a joint format. Okay, so summary format, matrix format, and tabular format can work with one single report type at a time. But joint format, as the name suggests, joint format, it can allow you to deal with multiple report types. Okay, so just select the joint format. Okay, the moment you select the format as joint format, you will see that it has created a block. It calls it block 1, right? And this way you can create 5 blocks with different report types. So this is the first block with accounts and contacts. I can create more blocks here. Okay, so you can just click on add report type, select a report type, let's say opportunities. See, second block got created for opportunities report type, right? You can bring in one more report type for cases. See, so now I have 3 blocks. This way you can have maximum 5 blocks here, and you can bring in different report types here. Now against each account, how many contacts, how many opportunities, how many cases, everything is listed here. Okay, and because there are 3 different blocks of report here, there are 3 different sections for filters also. The same filter will not work for everything, right? So you would see it here. For contact and account, there is one filter option in case you want to put filter. I have cleared the filter, I have not put any filter. For opportunity block 2, there is another filter section, so you can add filters for this section here. Okay, let me make it all time. For cases block 3, there is another filter section, right? See, So we have created a report where we have, I can just remove this drop area, show drop zone, remove it. A joint report got created. It's very simple, right? So American Express, how many contacts, how many opportunities, how many cases do we have, edge communication, so like this, right? So this is a joint report of multiple report types. I've combined different report types here. All right. But whenever you are creating a joint report, we just have to create, keep one thing in mind, that one side of the report should be common. Like in this case, account field is common, right? So you cannot just have report types which do not have anything in common. You cannot combine them, because one thing has to be common. Like account is a common factor in all these three report types. For contacts, I have accounts. For cases, there are accounts, and for opportunity also there is account, right? So account is common. That is the reason why I have been able to create this report, right? So just keep this in mind, that one thing has to be common, and in this case account is a common thing. All right. So anytime you have a requirement to create a report which you think is not possible using one single report type, you are required to bring in objects from different report types. Joint format is the one that you should consider. All right. Clear? All right. So we have talked about all these different 4 formats, joint format including joint format. Okay. So that is it. Right. So now we go into our next thing, which is dashboards. So we have talked about reports. Now we will start talking about dashboards. Dashboard is the simpler part. The concept is basically used in creating a report. So understanding the requirement of the report and designing the report as per the requirement, bringing the fields, putting the filters, logics, summarizing and all that stuff, so that you have to understand and you have to create the report. Dashboard is basically a collection of reports being displayed on the same screen, right? So putting multiple reports together, that's it, right? So dashboard is a simple thing. We don't have a challenge with the dashboard. So to create a dashboard, again you need to go to setup, reports. Don't go to the dashboard tab, go to reports tab again. Okay, under reports tab you have an option called new dashboard. You see this? Just click on this new dashboard. For creating a report, we click on new report. For creating a dashboard, you will click on new dashboard. Okay, so just select new dashboard and you will see this screen, right? So this is just the user interface where you can bring in multiple reports. Why do we need dashboards? Dashboards are required because sometimes your end user wants to view multiple reports very quickly. Let's say your top level management wants to see how your customer support team is doing, how sales team is doing, and how marketing team is doing. Okay, and just a quick dashboard, a quick view of it. They don't want to get into the details, right? So dashboard can come very handy in that case. They can just have a very quick overview of the information. So what we can do is, you can have your data sources as reports. Okay. So dashboard has two things. Sorry. Data source, okay, and components. Achha, what is data sources? Data sources is basically the reports that you have created. So the report that you have created serves as the data source for the dashboard. Component is the graph or the chart. Because we are talking about displaying multiple reports on the same screen, if everything is in form of table, then people who are viewing the dashboard will not understand anything. So the idea is basically to have data sources and the components. Okay, so data source can basically come from the reports that we have created, and the component is something which we can select here. So you can have a pie chart or a bar chart, whatever you want. Okay. So, and a dashboard by default has 3 columns, which means 3 reports can be displayed here. So let me it's just drag and drop. So drag and bring the data sources here and go to components, whatever component you want for it. I just have one report now, that is the reason why I have dragged the same report for everything, but I will put different components for them. Let's say this is my sales pipeline report. This is my marketing campaigns report, and this is customer support report. That's it. So this is how easy it is. So just converting those reports that you have created into charts and bringing in multiple reports on the same screen. That's it. Now you can put a header, footer, title, and your dashboard is ready. So you can bring in more things here. Right now there are just 3. You can bring in more, you can drag in more data sources here below this. So this way you can have maximum 20 reports on one single dashboard. Okay, but we don't usually display all 20 of them. If required, you can have maximum 20. All right. So the dashboard is ready. Only thing which needs to be done is to save the dashboard. The dashboard is also saved in folders. So my dashboard is ready, saved. So good thing about the dashboard is that this is accessible anytime. This is within Salesforce.com. It's ready and it's accessible anytime. Anyone who wants to view the dashboard any point of time can quickly view it. Will not have any challenge in viewing the dashboard. Like if you are the CEO of the company and you just quickly want to have a look into the dashboard, you can anytime go to your dashboards tab. So for viewing the dashboard, this dashboard tab is used. For creating reports tab is used. Okay. So you want to view the dashboard. So people who need to view the dashboard, they should have access to dashboard tab. People who need to create dashboards and reports, they should have access to the reports tab. Got it? So you can just click on dashboard tab and you can select. Right now I just have one. Yeah. If you have multiple dashboards, you can select which dashboard you want to see, and you will get to see the dashboard quickly. You can also refresh the dashboard so that if there is any change in the data in the backend, that gets updated here. You can have a quick look onto that. Is that clear? Creating a dashboard and viewing the dashboard. Okay, there's one more place where you can view the dashboard, which is at the home page. Okay, your end users can see the dashboard on their home page also. So if by default home page does not display the dashboard, we can go to setup and then go to customize. There's a tab, there's an option called home, and you can just say home page layouts. Edit the layout there is a component on the home page which is called dashboard snapshot, which is off now. Click this one, click on next. Dashboard snapshot is there, click on save. See, the dashboard snapshot appears on the home page also, right? So sometimes you might want to allow the dashboard snapshot to the end users from the home page also, or because on the home page they can just view one dashboard. The best way is actually the end user goes into the dashboard tab and then he just views the dashboard, the one that he wants to view. Okay. All right. Okay, Navyata has a question. She says, for every app we have to create the reports and dashboard object, or by default are they available to us? All right. Reports and dashboard object, these are not objects, these are by default there. You don't have to create them, these are there by default. Like home tab is there by default. Okay, so reports and dashboards are also there by default. We don't have to create them. All right. So anyone, any question on this? Please let me know if anyone has a doubt or question on this reports and dashboard. Simple stuff. There is nothing very difficult if you just go through the entire stuff what we have done. If you just do it 1 or 2 times on your own, there are not many things that you need to just keep in mind. So you just have to understand what are the steps of creating a report. So you select the report type and then you select the filters, fields, filters, these few different filters, things, the formats, and what all can we do with the report once it's created, and how to create a joint report we have seen, how to create dashboard we have seen. So if you can just go through this much, whatever we have discussed in this, 10% questions come from this report section. And if you look into this, this is the easiest section where you can score, because you will have questions, you will not have any question which is very much into concept. You don't have to crack a big concept to answer that question, because here they cannot ask you to create a report and stuff like that. So your questions will be something like out of 5 options, which are the correct report formats. So if you just know the report format names, you can answer them. All right. So what is the first step of creating a report? Selecting a report type, or selecting the fields or the filters. So these kind of things, right? So that sort of questions will be there, and 10% is a good thing. So I think that should be good. And reporting is something basically the kind of just go a minute.